Ramchandra Bhatt sir, Dr. Satish Rao sir and Dr. Jairam Shenoy sir for having accepted our felicitation and being here. Thank you very much, sirs, and I recognize the family members of all these three great teachers for us. Today amongst us we have a special achievement, Dr. Rajesh Krishna, a hematologist from Yenapoya, who has headed the first allogenic bone marrow transplant to be done in Mangalore. May I request Dr. Rajesh Krishna to please come on stage, and I request Bhaskar Shetty sir to felicitate him with a bouquet.
Thank you very much for this honor. All the dignitaries on the stage and the IMA office bearers. I'm glad that we could start the allogenic transplant program in Mangalore, thereby helping our patients to have this facility in our own hometown. Thank you very much.
Today's program wouldn't have been possible without the support of a lot of our hospitals, the laboratories that have been there in Mangalore who have helped us today, the KMC Hospital, SCS Hospital, Sparsha Lab, Nandikur Labs, Mangalore Nursing Home and Indiana Hospital. Thank you all for having pitched in with us. I thank IMA Trust who has been part of today's function as well as providing us with this hall. I thank the press media, Abbakka TV here, our caterers, that's Kamath Caterers, our office staff. I thank Kavya Samhita and Siddharth for emceeing today. And I thank our speakers of the CME also, Dr. Tantri, Dr. Ranjit and Dr. Anurag also. And lastly but not, I thank all the members who have been there from 4:30 onwards here. And we have enjoyed the initial portions and then we went through the CME and then the felicitation. I think we have a few more wonderful programs that is going to follow. So I request all of you to be here and enjoy that. Let's stand for the national anthem.
However, we should not use mycophenolate monotherapy because of the risk of acute cellular rejection. So, common side effects of mycophenolate and mycophenolate, major side effects is GI side effects, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, etc. Anemia, lymphopenia, weight loss, thrombocytopenia are also known to occur similar to azathromycin. Coming to antibody induction, the main goal.
Immunosuppressive agent, particularly the corticosteroids. So, when there is a patient with pre-existing renal dysfunction, an attempt is made to avoid calcineurin inhibitors in the early, the antibody induction is used. So, the antibodies, we have the anti-thymocytoglobulin, which is very non-specific and it causes antibody mediated cytolysis of all the T cells. First dose effects, that is cytokine release syndrome, is known, and always pre-treatment with corticosteroids, diphenhydramine and acetaminophen is required before giving this. This OKT3 antibodies are presently not available in the market, so I think we'll skip this slide. Then we have the IL-2 receptor antibody. This is primarily used nowadays, easily available in the market, though it is pretty expensive, and it causes competitive antagonism of IL-2 induced T cell proliferation, and it also has a prolonged immunosuppressive effect. It already stubborn to use this IL-2 receptor antibodies, and very minimal side effect profile, almost comparable to placebo they say, and also this less incidence of post-transplant diabetes, and safe when used with the calcineurin inhibitors, allowing a reduction of calcineurin inhibitors, especially with the patients with pre-transplant renal impairment. However, the negative aspect is the high cost. I think around 20 mg of basiliximab cost around 80,000, and their potential negative influence on tolerance. So what they say is that if you use these drugs initially, so it can lead to chronic rejection at a later date. So that is one thing which should be kept in mind. So again, alemtuzumab not routinely used. That is an anti-CD52 monoclonal antibody. We have belatacept, that is again anti-T lymphocyte antigen 4 antigen, which is also not very much used. So it is, some trials are still going on with these drugs. Then coming to the steroid avoidance strategies, so that is basically avoid the well-known side effects of osteoporosis such as hyperglycemia, Cushingoid features, hypertension, and the delayed C post-transplant. So these are the instances where we try to avoid steroid, where the renal, because the renal dysfunction from calcineurin inhibitors can become irreversible at some point, and up to 21% develop chronic renal failure within 5 years after a non-renal transplant. So one approach is to add the mycophenolate mofetil and to reduce the dose of calcineurin inhibitors like tacrolimus, and however, number of studies have shown that if you remove calcineurin inhibitors completely, the rejection rates are high. So the goal is to reduce the dosage of TAC2 as minimum as possible. So this calcineurin inhibitor avoidance, so basically we can convert the calcineurin inhibitors to sirolimus, and the optimal time of conversion and whether to use it in early post-transplant period is controversial, and also early conversion to sirolimus was associated with improved renal function, whereas...
A very good evening to all. I am Vivek, working as a transplant coordinator at KMC Hospital, Ambedkar Circle, Mangalore. The possibilities of organ transplantation has raised a hope of several patients in end stage of organ failure, and this opportunity makes me difference in their lives to give a new life to them, and also it brings a great joy to me. And this organ transplantation is an evolving technique, not readily available, so I would like to take this opportunity to speak very briefly on this process. A person appointed by a hospital to coordinate all matters resulting to removal and transplantation of human organs or tissues along with the Jiva Sarthakate. All hospital who is doing the transplant, there will be a transplant coordinator appointed by the hospital, and we will coordinate with Jiva Sarthakate. Jiva Sarthakate is the government appointed body to oversee the implementation of the Transplantation of Human Organs Act of 1994 to see the brain dead cadaver patients organ transplantation and retrieval and distribution of organs in these regions. We have 2 coordinators appointed in the district level, Venlock Hospital. They will coordinate 6 districts and around 9 hospitals in and around Mangalore. So the roles and activities of the transplant coordinator: coordinate with the consultant that live and deceased donor transplantation. Here once the doctor tells there is a patient, there is a recipient for transplantation, then we will go and speak with that patient, and we are coordinating and maintaining recipient registry. If any patient, if they don't have any donor from their family, first we have to register them in Jiva Sarthakate, Jiva Sarthakate means that government body of the state, they have to give their photo, address proof, and their age proof, and their certain blood test and serology reports. Then we will upload in Jiva Sarthakate site. Then within 24 hours we will register them in that Jiva Sarthakate, so that patient will be in waiting list. Then workup after that we will do the workup done as per the liver patients and recipients as per the checklist. If they have liver live donor, then we will first check their first phase of blood test, whether they are suitable for transplantation, whether they are suitable for the donor, and then once the blood test reports all come, then we were motivating family members for the live donation, and we were assessing the psychosocial their stability, whether they are fit, whether they are know about the transplantation and what are the cause and pros and consequences of the transplantation. Everything we will explain them. Then questionnaires is there for them. We will fill their questionnaires along with the consultants and help them to meet other donor recipients, those who are already undergone transplant, so that they will gain confidence. Then legal requirements we will explain and sample given. This is in the case of live liver transplant, because we have a set of documents. They have to submit affidavit of the donor, affidavit of the recipient. Then if the close family relative donating the organs, then it is form number 1 they have to do, and spousal donation form number 2, and then joint affidavit they will do form number 11. All these things we will explain them and we are guiding them. Then financial counseling, because it involves huge cost for the process, for the transplantation. So we will help them to get financial help from either from the any government or some fundraising. We are helping them in that way.
We wish you all a very happy Doctors' Day. We, Dr. Kavya Samhita and Dr. Siddharth, residents Internal Medicine, KMC Mangaluru, welcome you all to the Doctors' Day celebration and felicitation ceremony organized by IMA Mangalore branch with IMA Trust.
Today, we have gathered here to celebrate the noble profession of medicine and pay tribute to the dedicated doctors who tirelessly serve humanity. It is indeed an honor to address you on this special occasion of Doctors' Day. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to all the doctors present here and those who are unable to join us today. Your commitment to healing and your selfless service to society are truly remarkable. Each one of you plays a vital role in saving lives, providing care and alleviating suffering. It is now my pleasure to invite the dignitaries, Dr. Venugopal D., President IMA Mangalore, Dr. Archit Bulur, Secretary IMA Mangalore, Dr. Nand Kishore B., Treasurer IMA Mangalore, Dr. Sachidanand Rai B., Secretary IMA Trust, Dr. K.R. Kamath, Treasurer IMA Trust. To accompany the Chief Guest, Dr. Bhaskar Shetty MS, Director, City Hospital Mangalore, on to the dais.
As we commemorate Doctors' Day, it is an imperative to highlight the extraordinary contributions of remarkable individuals who exemplified the highest standards of medical excellence. Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, fondly known as Dr. B.C. Roy. He was an exemplary physician, statesman, and a visionary. He left an everlasting mark on the medical fraternity, not just in India, but across the world. He played a pivotal role in establishing the IMA Association and served as its president. It was under his leadership that PG IMA Chandigarh and as well as several branches of AIIMS were established. Moreover, Dr. B.C. Roy's vision encompassed not only medical education but also healthcare accessibility. He firmly believed that healthcare should reach the farthest corners of our nation, and he worked tirelessly to make that a reality. As the Chief Minister of West Bengal, he introduced several groundbreaking initiatives, including the concept of mobile medical units and rural healthcare centers. His efforts significantly improved the healthcare access, especially for underprivileged sections of the society. Today, as we celebrate the medical profession along with the doctors, let us also express our gratitude to the families of the doctors who provide unwavering support and understanding. The sacrifices they make, the long hours, the missed family gatherings, and the emotional toll they bear are invaluable contributions to healing our society. I thank you everyone. Now, I request Dr. Nandakishore B to recite the IMA prayer.
Requesting everyone to stand. ಭಾರತೀಯ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಸಂಘದ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಆರೋಗ್ಯವಾಗಿರಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋವಿನಿಂದ ಮುಕ್ತವಾಗಿರಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ದುಃಖದಿಂದ ಮುಕ್ತವಾಗಿರಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಸೆ ಆಮಿಷಗಳನ್ನು ಮೀರಿ ಗುಣಪಡಿಸುವವರು ನಾವಾಗಿರಲಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಗುರುರ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಗುರುರ್ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಗುರುದೇವೋ ಮಹೇಶ್ವರ ಗುರು ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ಪರಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ತಸ್ಮೈ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರವೇ ನಮಃ. Good evening and very warm welcome to Doctors Day function. Dr. Bhaskar Shetty, the guest of honor for this function. Dr. Sachidananda Rai, Secretary IMA Trust. Dr. Nandakishore, Treasurer of IMA. Dr. K.R. Kamath, Treasurer of IMA Trust, and Dr. Achit Boluru, Secretary of IMA Mangalore Branch. And my dear esteemed delegates, friends, colleagues, and Dr. Prabhat Shetty. She is the past president and the first president, lady president of IMA Mangalore Branch. We are seeing you, madam, here back in IMA Mangalore Branch. Today is a special occasion for all of us. Doctors Day is being celebrated all over the country. The birth anniversary of great doctor Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy was born in 1882 July 1st, and he did his medicine in India, that is LMS, and then did MD, later went to England, did his MRCP and FRCS, came back to the motherland, joined as assistant surgeon, and then later he entered into politics, became a leader, and went on to become the Chief Minister of West Bengal. He was called the modern architect of West Bengal. And as a doctor, as a Chief Minister, he has shown to the country that the doctors can give a transparent administration. So it is this day, and he also incidentally died on the same day, July 1st in 1862, and this day is being, his birth anniversary is being celebrated as a Doctor's Day. As a formality, IMA Mangalore Branch has been celebrating on July 1st Doctors Day, National Doctors Day, and also recognizing the senior doctors of IMA Mangalore Branch members and felicitating. This function has been continued for years. So this year also we have selected 3 doctors for this felicitation program. So with us we have Dr. B. Ramachandra Bhatt, B.R. Bhatt. He is a general practitioner who has been practicing for the last 50 years. He has started his clinic near Bajipe airport, near the airport, as a general practitioner. He did his MBBS from Mysore Medical College way back in 1968, and as soon as he finished his MBBS, he started his practice near Bajipe, and he is fondly called by his patients as a Malige doctor, and he has been serving since then as a general practitioner. He is blessed with the 3 children. I first mentioned the daughters. Uh, Dr. Sridevi MDS, she is here with us. She is a dentist practicing in Putturu, and the second doctor has done MSc Chemistry and teaching in Sharda PU College, Mangalore. And the third, the son, is none other than our own secretary, Dr. Nanda Kishore, urologist. So, congratulations to Dr. B.R. Bhatt. And the second person we are going to felicitate is Dr. Satish Rao. He is well known among all of us. He is a senior consultant psychiatrist. He had worked as a head of the Department of Psychiatry in KS Segde Medical College and continuing as a senior professor. He has a lot of social service he has done in many areas, and he told me that not to mention all those things, make it very brief. He is a symbol of Sarala Sajjanikeya Doctor. So such a simplicity, is known for his simplicity. I am very short, sir, in your briefing your biodata CV. So congratulations to Dr. Satish Rao, consultant psychiatrist on this occasion. And one more person is none other than our own KMC faculty, Dr. Jairam Shenai. Congratulations to you, sir. As a surgeon, he has put up many years of service, has worked as a lecturer, then assistant professor and associate professor. He has served in KS Segde Medical College as well, and now presently is working in Government Venlock Hospital as part of KMC Mangalore, as a faculty of KMC Mangalore. Coming to the Doctors' Day, we all celebrate. I think I am sure that most of you would have received Happy Doctors' Day by your patients and well-wishers. Yes, Happy Doctors' Day. There are few elements in this Happy Doctors' Day who have sent message would be a problem for us also. Because the violence, assault, we see in the recent days it's ever increasing. The reason is many, and there is a stringent law, but there is somewhere there's a lapse on implementation of the law also. The problem is Vaidyo Narayano Hari. You would have seen in newspapers Vaidyo Narayano Hari. We cannot be equated to a god. The Subhashitam says very clearly, Sharire Jarjari Bhute Vyadigraste Kalevare Aushadi Janavi Toyam Vaidyo Narayana Hari. Doesn't mean that the doctor is a Narayana. It is the Narayana is the Vaidya. It is the God is the Vaidya, and the medicine is Ganga Jala. It is not we. So the problem is the patients superlatively call us as Vaidyo Narayana Hari, but at the same time, when person is not cured or the expenditure comes hugely bill, that is where they will try to go against us. So a word of caution to all of us that we all have stressful life. During the COVID pandemic, many of our doctors have sacrificed. Their supreme sacrifices should be remembered. And also somewhere down the line, we doctors should take break. We need to, self-care is very, very important. We have to spend time with the family. This evening we had such cultural programs which will continue. I am happy to see that there are many participation from the family members, and it's a lovely function. So we need to have a stress-free life as well. There is a doctor, the loss of life of a doctor for the patient is nothing. He will find another doctor. But the family will suffer forever. So we need to take care of ourselves. But at the same time, we need to learn things. That is where the IMA comes. So please do attend the meetings. We need to update ourselves. Learning a new skills, new knowledge is an order of the day. Otherwise, we will be nowhere. We will be outdated or obsolete. So there is a need for gaining the knowledge and new skills to survive in this field. And learning is a continuous process. The only constant is a change. So with these few words, I will coming to the chief guest, the guest of the day, Dr. Bhaskar Shetty. He doesn't require any introduction, sir. He is well known. One word I will tell you, only one word about him. Today we are sitting in this hall, such a beautiful air-conditioned hall of IMA. It is all because of the senior doctors like Dr. Bhaskar Shetty and many senior doctors who have put their heart and soul to bring up this building, right from acquiring and getting this land and building such a beautiful building. Nowhere in the state IMA has got such a beautiful building what we have here. And he's a senior most doctor, one of the senior most surgeons of our place. Sir, I welcome you very much. Thank you very much for consent to be the chief guest. Thank you very much, sir, once again.
I now request our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Bhaskar Shetty, Director, City Hospital, Mangalore, to speak a few words to the audience.
Esteemed President Dr. Venugopal, dignitaries on the dais, my dear colleagues, invitees, and honorable members of the press and electronic media. At the outset, I thank our association president, Dr. Venugopal, and his office bearers for inviting me as a guest of honor on this auspicious occasion of Doctors' Day to commemorate the birthday anniversary of great medical doyen, a philanthropist, social worker par excellence, and a committed, honest politician of our time, Dr. B.C. Roy. In spite of his busy, responsible political commitments, he used to treat his poor patients in his clinic for few hours a day, free of cost. Such is his moral and ethical commitment to his people. Let us dedicate this day in memory of the good work done by him and pledge to emulate his ideals as much as possible in our day-to-day life. The medical education and the patient care has taken a paradigm over last 5 decades due to frequent changes effected by the concerned authorities at the central bodies and regional professional universities, research groups. Sometimes it ends up with experimentation only and of the newer systems to change in a matter of few years, either due to failure of the newly introduced systems or to the fancy of the political masters of these institutions. This has caused confusion with the professionals who implement it at the ground level. However, the medical science has progressed leap and bounds. Its vastness has created multiple sub-branches. The days of generalists who were practicing or providing services to all kinds of diseases has gone by. But the generalists' services are still essential as the first contact of an ailing person. Sub or super specialties have mushroomed, often leading to confusion as there is a lot of overlapping as to in whose domain a particular disease falls. Standard of medical education is slowly deteriorating over the decades due to various reasons. Similarly, nursing and other paramedical courses also. It should be assessed whether it is due to frequent changes in the system, non-availability of committed experienced teachers, selection of the poor quality students, deficient infrastructure in the medical institutions, or non-availability of the sufficient number of patients for teaching in the teaching hospitals of the medical colleges. There is no doubt the country needs more number of medical graduates, but such mass production of substandard graduates not at the cost of quality health care. Though many of our colleagues are doing very well in their professional field, we hardly see the teachers with the quality and caliber of late Dr. B.C. Roy or Dr. M.V. Shetty or Dr. M.P. Pai or Dr. Srinivasan or Dr. C.R. Ballal. Majority of the graduates coming out of the medical colleges are not capable of writing a proper case sheet today, or cannulation of a patient, simple suturing of a wound at the casualty, or capable of interacting with the consultants regarding their patients. Documentation of patient's condition and care in using legible block lettered prescriptions are written. The most important part which our boys are lacking. If the senior colleagues in this audience recollect their memory of 3 to 4 decades back, the medical graduates of yesteryears were independently capable of doing minor operations like tubectomy, vasectomy, hydrocele surgeries, leave alone suturing the wound. The wrong policy in implementing the expansion of medical colleges led to the watering down of the quality of medical education. District of this South Canara, with the 22.5 lakh population, has 9 medical colleges, out of which 8 are within the city corporation of Mangalore, with less than 6 lakhs population. Shortly, we are likely to have one more medical college at Puttur. So it will make about 10 colleges in one district, the world record. There are 12,829 plus hospital beds in the private sector of South Canara district, of which 8,660 plus beds are in teaching hospitals. Total hospital beds, both government and private sector, available in the district is more than 16,000, a disproportionate high concentration of population to bed ratio. The days have gone by when Mangalore was attracting large number of patients, particularly from Kerala and the neighboring districts. With almost all of the neighboring districts having established their own medical colleges and improvement in healthcare system, patient entering the Mangalore hospitals has dried up, resulting in poor student-patient ratio in teaching hospitals. To have a good medical education system, it may not be out of the way to suggest to have a cadre-based full-time teaching, research-oriented, committed faculty whose financial interest and children's education is fully safeguarded by these, as in IT and corporate sectors, and their children are assured, if needed by the parents and the faculty, of medical, engineering on dental seats in the management colleges as practiced by Manipal Group till 1990. Today, every medical college is financially sound and capable of implementing the above scheme in the best interest of medical education, healthcare system and welfare of the mankind. Thousands of MBBS graduates are without job, waiting for enrollment to PG courses. It is better if these young doctors are given an opportunity to work as senior house officers in teaching hospitals so that they will pick up some professional skills and also some livelihood before they join the PG courses or any other job as used to be decades ago. I thank all of you for a patient hearing. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. On this day, IMA Mangalore presents the Doctors' Day Awards and reminds you that you are special and taught about so warmly. Now I request Dr. Venugopal D, President IMA Mangalore, to introduce Dr. B. Ramchandra Bhatt, Senior General Practitioner, Mangalore. IMA Mangalore is happy to felicitate you with this Doctors' Day Award, sir.
Today, we have invited Commissioner of Police Mangaluru, Mr. Kuldeep Kumar Jain, he has expressed his inability to attend the function. However, he has sent a message. I will just read it. My sincere apologies for not making to this program because of some emergency situation. On this occasion, I wish all of you a very happy Doctors' Day. After God, next greatest faith mankind have is on doctors because you are savior of life. After any religious places, next highest visited place would be hospitals. This is the responsibility with which you are working, and it would be appropriate to say that all of you have justified it too. There have been numerous occasions including COVID-19 where your services have been invaluable. My biggest salute and best wishes. Once again apologizing for not making to the program. Thank you. This is a message from Commissioner of Police Kuldeep Kumar Jain. Now coming to the introduction, to the formal introduction of our awardee Dr. B. Ramachandra Bhatt. He is born on June 12, 1948. Parents Badekai Timmanna Bhatt and mother Honnamma. Eldest son of the family, Kairangala village near Mudipu. He was brought up and he studied in Kairangala School, Mudipu High School, PUC at Aloysius College, Mangalore, and MBBS from Mysore 68 to 1973. Started his clinic in Anuradha Clinic at Karambar near Bajpe Airport since 1973. Has completing 50 years of service, fondly called, as I said, Malige Doctor by parents and for patients and well-wishers. Wife Srimati Lalita R. Bhatt, son, as I mentioned, Dr. Nandakishore, and daughter Dr. Sridevi and Srimati Madhavi. Dr. B. Ramachandra Bhatt.
ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದವರು, ಇಂದು ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದ ಒಂದೆರಡು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಲು ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ ಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. 2023 ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಬಾಳಿನ ಪ್ರಯಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮೈಲಿಗಲ್ಲು. 2023ನೇ ವರ್ಷ ನನ್ನ ಬದುಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ 75 ವರ್ಷ, ಅಮೃತ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವದ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ. ಈ ನನ್ನ ಸುದೀರ್ಘ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಸುಖ, ಶಾಂತಿ, ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಆ ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಮನಪೂರ್ವಕ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಭಕ್ತಿಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಇನ್ನು ನನ್ನ ವೃತ್ತಿ ಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ 2023ನೇ ವರ್ಷ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ 50ನೇ ವರ್ಷ ಸುವರ್ಣ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವದ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ. ಅಂದರೆ ಕಾಕತಾಳೀಯವೋ ಏನೋ ಅಮೃತ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವ ಮತ್ತು ಸುವರ್ಣ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವ ಒಂದೊಂದಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ನಾನು 1973ರಲ್ಲಿ MBBS ಅನ್ನು ಮೈಸೂರು ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಿಂದ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮುಂದೇನು ಮಾಡುವುದೆಂದು ಆಲೋಚಿಸಿದಾಗ ಹೈಯರ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಲು ಹಣದ ತಾಪತ್ರಯ, ಸರಕಾರಿ ನೌಕರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಿಸಿದಾಗ ಸಿಗದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಬಜ್ಪೆ ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಕಂಬಾರಿ ಎಂಬ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ಅನುರಾಧ ಕ್ಲಿನಿಕ್ ಎಂಬ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ನನ್ನ ವೃತ್ತಿ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಆರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅಂದಿನಿಂದ ಇಂದಿನ ತನಕ ಅದೇ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಹಾಗೂ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಗಳು ಹೇಳುವಂತೆ ಮಾಳಿಗೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರು ಎಂಬ ಹೆಸರಿನಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅದು ಈ ವರ್ಷದ ಅಂತ್ಯದವರೆಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ನನ್ನ ಈ ಸುದೀರ್ಘ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ಸಹಕರಿಸಿ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಈ ಅಭಿಮಾನಿ ಬಳಗಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಮನಪೂರ್ವಕ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಈ ಅಮೃತ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವ ಸಂಭ್ರಮವಾಗಲಿ ಸುವರ್ಣ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವ ಸಂಭ್ರಮವಾಗಲಿ ಅದು ಈ ವರ್ಷದ ಅಂತ್ಯದವರೆಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಆದರೆ ಮತ್ತಿನ ಬರುವ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ನೆನಪು ಮಾತ್ರ. ಆದರೆ ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ದಿನ ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂದೂ ಮರೆಯದ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ. ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ನನ್ನ ನಿತ್ಯ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿತ್ಯ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವದ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ. ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸು ತುಂಬಿ ಬಂತು. ಹಾಗೂ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ನಾನೊಂದು ವಿಶೇಷತೆಯನ್ನು ಹೇಳಲೇಬೇಕು. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನೊಂದು ಹಿಂದಿನ ಘಟನೆಯನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲೇಬೇಕು. ಅಂದು ಮಗನಿಗೆ SLCಯಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮಟ್ಟದ ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಶಾಲಾ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಕರನ್ನು ಕರೆಸಿ ರಕ್ಷಕರು ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಸೇರಿ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿದೆವು. ಇಂದು ಅದೇ ಮಗ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿ ಬಂಧುಗಳನ್ನು ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ನನಗೆ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಆ ವಿಶೇಷತೆ ಏನೆಂದರೆ, ಅಂದು ಅಪ್ಪ ಮಗನಿಗೆ ಸನ್ಮಾನ, ಇಂದು ಮಗನಿಂದ ಅಪ್ಪನಿಗೆ ಸನ್ಮಾನ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳುವುದು ದೇವರ ಲೀಲೆಯನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಬಲ್ಲವರಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಆದರೆ ಈ ಸನ್ಮಾನದ ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೆನಪಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದು ನಾನು ಮಗನಿಗೆ ಸಣ್ಣದಲ್ಲಿರುವಾಗ ಮಾಡಿದ, ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಯ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಮಗ ನನಗೆ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಂಧವ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹಾಸೊಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಆ ದೇವರೇ ಬಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನು ಈ ಅಮೃತ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವ ಸಂಭ್ರಮವಾಗಲಿ ಸುವರ್ಣ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವ ಸಂಭ್ರಮವಾಗಲಿ ಅದು ಈ ವರ್ಷದ ಅಂತ್ಯದವರೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದು ನೆನಪು ಮಾತ್ರ. ಆದರೆ ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ನನ್ನ ಜೀವಮಾನವಿಡೀ ಮರೆಯದ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಇದು. ಅದೇನೇ ಇರಲಿ, ಇಂದು ನೀವು ಎಲೆಮರೆಯ ಕಾಯಿಯಂತಿದ್ದ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಮಾಡಿದ ಸನ್ಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಈ IMA ಪದಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿ ಬಂಧುಗಳಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ 2 ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಗಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ.
IMA Mangalore is happy to felicitate you with the Doctors Day Award, sir. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to felicitate Dr. Jairam Shenoy.
Good evening, dignitaries and dais, my dear friends. I deem it my good fortune to introduce my teacher, Professor K. Jairam Shenoy, to Mr. Umanath Shenoy and Mrs. Meera Shenoy. About 60 and a few years ago, he had his early education in SDM College, Ujire, and 1973 was, according to him, a turning point in his life. He's never been tired of telling us, I qualified for KREC but didn't go. Probably our good fortune. The misfortune of the engineering world was probably good fortune for the surgeons of Mangalore. He went to Government Medical College, Mysore, where he did his MBBS, and then came to KMC Mangalore for his MS in General Surgery. Sir trained with Professor Chacko, isn't it, sir? Professor Chacko in Cochin. Sorry, Professor T.M. Joseph in Cochin in 1984 in cardiothoracic surgery. And we are the beneficiaries of that training Sir has undergone. He joined KMC Mangalore in 1984 and headed the department between 2003 and 2006, during which time many radical changes happened in the department, and I must confess, for the good of the department. Sir has delivered many prestigious orations, some of which are the K.N. Udupa Memorial Oration at the national level of the ASI in 2015, the Das Mahapatra Oration in 2020, also at the national level, and at the state level of the ASI, the Professor MP5 Memorial Oration in 2012, the Balakrishna Rao Memorial Oration the Balakrishna Rao Memorial Symposium in 2020, and I'm glad to say in our upcoming state conference in Mysore, Sir has been chosen to give the Professor S.P. Callgood Endowment Oration. This is as far as academics goes. For many of us, Sir is an Apad Bandhava. If you operate for long enough, you're bound to make mistakes, you're bound to get into trouble. And I am one of those fortunate people who's benefited from Sir's expertise whenever and wherever we've called him. And I'm not alone in this. I would like to share something which another student of his very gratefully wrote yesterday night. I texted with WhatsApp today, life is easy. I texted and said, can you say something about Sir? And I need 30 seconds to read. When he said, Sir helped me to make a decision about pursuing a residency program in the US based on what I really want to do and achieve, rather than look back upon it a few years later and regret not trying. He reinforced this advice by quoting his favorite line from the movie Silsila and told me to stop imagining about what could not be and rather focus on what the facts are, to avoid looking back and thinking, tum hoti to kaise hota, tum hoti to vaise hota. This is one of the innumerable dialogues I've heard from Sir. Ladies and gentlemen, my privilege to present my teacher, Professor K. Jairam Shenoy.
I request all the dignitaries on the dais to felicitate Dr. Jairam Shenoy, sir.
IMA Mangalore ಘಟಕದ ಪದಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವೇಣುಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿಯೂ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅರ್ಜಿತ್ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಯಾಗಿಯೂ, ಅಥವಾ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಂದಕಿಶೋರ್ ಇವರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ಪದಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು, ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರಾದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಭಾಸ್ಕರ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿಯವರು, ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಹಿರಿಯ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳು, ಕಿರಿಯರು, ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳು, ಸಹಪಾಠಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಇವರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇವತ್ತೊಂಥರ ಇವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಾಯರ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದೇ ಮೈಸೂರು ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವರು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ 1973 ಅಂದರೆ 73ನೇ ಅವ್ರು ಬಿಡುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಕಾಲೇಜನ್ನು ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದೇ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಅಣ್ಣ ಅವ್ರ ಭಾಷೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಒಂದು 2 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಬೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಟೋಪಿ ನಾನು ಇದು ಮೊದಲನೇದು. ನಾನು ಈ IMAಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅಷ್ಟು ಸಕ್ರಿಯನಾಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. 40 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಇದು ಸದಸ್ಯನಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮೊದಲೊಂದು 8-9 ವರ್ಷ 80ರ ದಶಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಕ್ರಿಯನಾಗಿದ್ದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಷ್ಕ್ರಿಯನಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ IMAಯಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾವೆ. IMA ಒಂದು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೊಮ್ಮುತ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದೊಂದು ಇಸ್ ಎ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚೇಂಜ್. ಅದ್ರ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾವಷ್ಟು ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಆಗಲಿ ದೇಶದ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಕೇರಳದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ, ನಾನು ಕಾರ್ಡಿಯೋಥೊರಾಸಿಕಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ MS ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯ IMA ನಮ್ಮ MA ನೋಡುವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ IMAಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಥ ಒಂದು ಇದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಕಾಣ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಬೇಸರ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿಯಾದರೂ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರು, ಮೈಸೂರು ನಮ್ಮ ಹಳೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ, ಗುರು ಏನಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಡೀತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ, ನಾವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇನೋ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಮುಂದೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ರಾಜ್ಯವರೆಗೂ ನಾವು ಕೇಳೋ ಹಾಗಿದ್ದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನ್ಯೂನತೆಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಕೆಲವೆಲ್ಲ ಸಕಾರಾತ್ಮಕ ಇದನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೇನೋ ಆಗ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪ್ರಾಯದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜೇಶಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಕೆಲವೆಲ್ಲ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ತುಮ್ ಹೋತಿತೋ ಎಸಾ ಹೋತಾ, ತುಮ್ ಏಕೆ ಹೆತ್ತಿ ಓ ಕೇತಿ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಇಸ್ ಬಾತ್ ಪರ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ವೃತ್ತಿಯನ್ನೇ ಒಂದು ತುಮ್ ಹೋತಿತೋ ಎಸಾ ಹೋತಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಒಂದು ಕನಸು ಕಾಣುವ ವಯಸ್ಸದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನನ್ನ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ಕಾರಣಗಳಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದಾಗುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನನ್ನ ಮನೆ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳು, ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆತ್ತವರು ತೀರಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ನಾನಿಲ್ಲಿ 250 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಸಂಬಳಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡಿಯೋವನಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆಯವರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನಿದ್ದೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕದಲ್ಲೇ ಆದೆ. ರಾಜೇಶ್ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಹೌದು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ TM ಜೋಸೆಫ್ ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ಬನು ಮಹೋನ್ನತ ಸರ್ಜನ್ ನನಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಸರ್ಜನ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಫಿಸಿಷಿಯನ್ ಹೂ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿ ಶುಡ್ ನೋ ವೆನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟು ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ನಾನು ಒಂಥರ ಹೇಳೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋ ಮೊದಲು ನಾನೊಬ್ಬ ನಾನ್ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಜನ್ ಇದ್ದವನನ್ನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಫಿಸಿಷಿಯನ್ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿದವರು ಅವರು. ಆದರೆ ಅದರ ಮೊದಲು ನಮಗೆ ತಳಹದಿಯನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿಕೊಟ್ಟವರು ರಾಜೇಶ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆಯವರಾದ ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಗಳು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ CR ಬಳ್ಳಾಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ರಾವ್. ಇವರು ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದರೆ ಆ ತಳಹದಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇರ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ರಾವ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವರನ್ನು ಸ್ಮರಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ವೆನ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ಮಭೂಮಿ, ತಾಜ್ಮಹಲ್ ಕಾಫಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್ನಾಗೆ. ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಸೂರು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದಾಗ ಕೇಳೋದು, ಏನು ಗುರು ನೀನು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊಸ ಕಾಲೇಜೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಶೋಲೆ ನೋಡಿ ನೀವು ಮರ್ತೋಗಿದ್ದೀಯೇನೋ ನಿನಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಗಬ್ಬರ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದ, ಚುಮಕ್ ಚಲ್ಲು ಜಬ್ ತಕ್ ತೆರೆ ಪೈರ್ ಚಲೆಗೆ ಸಾಸ್ ಚಲೆಗಿ, ಪೈರ್ ರುಕೆ ಬಂದೂಕ್ ಚಲೆಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ನಾವು ತಾಜ್ಮಹಲ್ ಕಾಫಿ ಇರುವಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ನಮ್ಮ KMC ವೆನ್ಲಾಕ್ ಇರುವಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ನಾವಿರ್ತೇವೆ. ವೆನ್ಲಾಕು ತಾಜ್ಮಹಲ್ ಕಾಫಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಾವು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಗುಟ್ಟಿನ ಬಲ. ಒಂದು ವೆನ್ಲಾಕ್ ಕಾಫಿ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಜನರಲ್ ಕ್ಲಿನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಸರ್ಜರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಇದೆ. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲದ್ದು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಲಿಸಬೇಕು ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಈ KMCಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆದೆ. ಸಂಬಳ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ತಂದೆಯವರು ನಮಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಆಗ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಆಮಿಷಗಳಿದ್ವು. ನೀನು ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಹೇಳೋರಿದ್ರು, ವೆನ್ಲಾಕಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ತಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕವರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಹೇಳೋರು ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರು. ಆದರೆ ನಾನು ಆನರರಿ ಗೌರವ ವೈದ್ಯಕಾರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರ ಗೌರವ ನಾನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ, ನಾನು ಭಿಕ್ಷೆ ಬೇಡಿಯೋದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ವೆನ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ದೇವರನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಾಸ್ತಿಕರನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕು ವೆನ್ಲಾಕ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ 5 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಹಿಮೋಗ್ಲೋಬಿನ್ ಇದ್ದವರನ್ನು ಲೋಕಲ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಪ್ಲೀನನ್ನು ತೆಗೆಯುವ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ನನಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂಥ ರೀತಿಯ ಮಾರಿಬಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಅವರು ಅಂಥ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇರೋದು ವೆನ್ಲಾಕಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಒಳ್ಳೆದಿರುವಾಗ ದೈವಿ ಶಕ್ತಿಯೊಂದು ಅಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಅಂತ ಇದನ್ನು IMA ಅವರು ಅದೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಅಂತ ಕೆಲವು ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಮೂಲೆ ನನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ಎತ್ತಿ ಬಂದು ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತು ನನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ವೃತ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಜನ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಸನ್ಮಾನವನ್ನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಮುಂದೆ IMAಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ವೈದ್ಯರ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಹೊರಹೊಮ್ಮಬೇಕು ನಾವು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ನಮಗೆ ಬರುವ ಸವಾಲುಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊಸ ಹೊಸ ಸವಾಲುಗಳು ವೈದ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಗಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಸ ಹೊಸ ಸವಾಲುಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಸಮರ್ಥವಾಗಿ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೂ ಒಂದು ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಲಾಬಿ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೆ ವೈದ್ಯರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ಬರೀ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಹೋರೂಪಂ ಅಹೋಧ್ವನಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಪರಸ್ಪರ ನಾವು ಹೊಗಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಮಾಡುವ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ವೈದ್ಯರ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಬರುವಂಥ ರೀತಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿ ಅದು IMA ನಮ್ಮ ವೈದ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬೆನ್ನೆಲುಬಾಗಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಮುಂದೆ ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇನಫ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಹರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಪವರ್ಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಬಿ. ಅದು ನನ್ನ ಆಶಯ. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು.
TPM from NIMANS, MD from Father Muller's Medical College, and he has worked as a consultant psychiatrist in Father Muller's in 89 to 92, and he has worked as a different capacities as a lecturer, assistant professor, associate professor in Father Muller's for 18 years, and he's been working as a professor HOD in Kshema, and followed by now he is working as a professor in the Department of Psychiatry in Kshema for the last 13 plus years. And Sir has been examiner for multiple universities, and in IMA, Sir was an active member, and because of his social commitments, he might not have taken up the presidentship and any stage post. But Sir has been always there for all the meetings, almost all the meeting for the monthly meeting, and Independence Day and Republic Day he has never missed. At least for last 15 years I am also coming, and that is Sir was always there for us, and he has got he can speak a lot of languages, and he's been in a non-academic membership, founder member of the Link Anti-Addiction Citizens Committee in 1991, and vice president, and now he is the president since 2004 in the activities to eradicate the addiction problem, and he is also a member of several societies which I am skipping, and he is also a member of the president of the now Arogya Bharati Karnataka Dakshina Pranta since 2016, and his hobbies are quiz, reading and trekking. You can always, so many members are interested in trekking, can ask his experience or guidance. He has gone to the Himalaya base camp, till base camp, and we had an opportunity to go to Nagaland with him. He is a trustee of the Red Cross Society is working, and Chetana Trust is a Seva Bharati trustee. We have visited Nagaland for the detection and helping the persons with the disability, and 1 week we were with Sir, and I know how disciplined and how much he can express his guidance. He can do the guidance without hurting anybody's feeling, and Sir is married to Geeta S. Rao, and she is also practicing for last 35 years. Madam is also there for the all the IMA meetings with Sir, and his son engineer Arjun, and daughter-in-law Archana working for corporate commitment in the KMC and in Mahe, and Chinmay is done second son who has done MBA, and Pooja she is his wife who is doing occupational therapy in KMC, and
ಸರ್, ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನೋರೋಗ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸಾ ತಜ್ಞರಾಗಿ ಯುವಕರಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಭಕ್ತಿ, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯತೆ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಾಳಜಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದ ಮಾನವೀಯತೆಯ ಮೂರ್ತರೂಪರಾದಂತಹ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಉಪ್ಪಳ ಸತೀಶ್ ರಾವ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಪರಿಚಯಿಸುವುದು ನನಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು.
I request all the dignitaries on the dais to felicitate Dr. Satish Rao P.
Sorry for speaking in English. I am not a man of few words. We are men of many words. Toastmaster Dr. Prabha Shetty will vouch for it. Respected Bharat Ratna, the great Dr. B.C. Roy sir. Guest of honor, Dr. Bhaskar Shetty sir. Respected President of IMA Mangalore, Dr. Venugopal sir. Secretary, Dr. Archit Bolur. Treasurer, Dr. Nandakishore. Dr. Divakar Rao sir. Dr. Sachidananda Rai. Dr. K.R. Kamath. Colleagues being facilitated along with me today, Dr. Ramachandra Bhatt and Dr. Jairam Shanai sir. Dr. Prabha Shetty all the way from UK, our dear fellow members, young and old of IMA Mangalore and their families, my own family members, my wife Dr. Geeta, my sons and daughters-in-law, and my Pulli Adrita, staff of IMA office, members of the media, my humble pranams to you all. And happy Doctors' Day to all the doctors assembled here. I won't take much time, that's the reason I have written it down, otherwise I will go on for hours. I am very grateful to the President and all the office bearers of IMA Mangalore for selecting me also for felicitation today on Doctors' Day. I think it will be relevant if I speak a few words on my becoming a doctor or a psychiatrist. Maybe it will be of interest for the young family members or medical students present here, though it may be devoid of inspirational value. I remember my mother today, who is no more, but who is responsible for what I am today. In my preschool years, there was no Anganwadi or play school or kindergarten in my village. But my mother used to tell a lot of stories, especially the whole of Mahabharata and Ramayana daily in the evenings. This had a great impact on my young mind, and though she had studied up to only 4th standard, my mother was a voracious reader, reading Bhagavad Gita one chapter daily before going to sleep. The most impressive of all on my young mind was Mahabharata. I joined 1st standard in my village Kannada medium school. Thankfully, no English medium schools at that time. I had severe school refusal as many of my classmates were older than me and bigger than me and bullied me. But the teachers always protected me. I was first in the class in all subjects, but rarely read my school books. I was reading newspapers and magazines like Chandamama, Sudha, Uttan, etc. And Kasturi and Reader's Digest were my favorite ones. Historical and detective novels too. When I was in primary school, my eldest brother joined PUC at St. Aloysius College, and he got some books free from the United States Information Services on space flights, etc. This impressed me a lot, and I wanted to be an astronaut. During my PUC at St. Aloysius College, I realized that it is difficult to become an astronaut as there was none to guide me. So I decided to become an IAS officer after doing engineering and started preparing along with a degree student, Sri Jairam Nonda from Manjeshwar. We used to buy Careers Digest and Competition Success Review and discuss during our daily training trips. We were both in NCC too. But when I finished PUC, my mother expressed her wish that I should become a doctor if possible, because we didn't have any doctor in our families so far. My mother's youngest brother was an engineer and my elder brother too. Though I loved machines more than human beings, during my childhood, I agreed to my mother's wish and joined Calicut Medical College, thinking of joining IAS as a doctor. During MBBS, that I had severe sleep problems, dozing off in the first hour of lecture at 8 a.m. It was very embarrassing and I became depressed, and I returned home deciding to quit. I was packed off again as it was a question of great honor being the first person from our village to get into MBBS. That too free government seat, rupees 356 fees for 6 months and rupees 2 as room rent per month. I struggled to deal with my sleep problem. Not knowing what is happening, I consulted many teachers, including physicians, neurologists, and even neurosurgeons. But not a psychiatrist, as a psychiatrist were not there in medical college at that time, you can imagine. None could diagnose my condition, only they reassured me. I could not sit and study. My entire MBBS, I did standing and reading and walking and reading. 2 days before my final MBBS exam, I was standing and reading Davidson's textbook of medicine. On page number 688, I reached a heading, narcolepsy. That was exact description of what I was having. I felt eureka, but didn't run out naked like Archimedes, as I was not in a bathtub. After the exam, I met my teachers and told about my diagnosis so that they can guide the sleeping students in their classes also. Though still I wanted to do IAS, I was also interested in surgery and wished to be a neurosurgeon. But due to sleep problem, I decided not to go for PG at all. To my bad luck, the government of India cancelled IAS eligibility for MBBS graduates right at that time. I was very disappointed and decided to join armed forces in 1981 and went up to final interview and did not get selected. Then I thought of taking up psychiatry, as I thought psychiatry doesn't require much reading and needs only common sense, which I thought at that time that I had. Not anymore. So I applied for NIMANS, All India Entrance Exam in 1982. As the selection involved 20 marks general knowledge and extracurricular activities counted, there was some hope. Out of 1,296 appeared that year, 30 were called for interview. My name was in the list. In the interview, Dr. R.L. Kapoor, HOD of Psychiatry, the great son-in-law of the great Dr. Shivaram Karanth, only asked quiz questions. The first was, what is black hole? I answered and the quizzing continued and I entered psychiatry through the black hole. Soon my myth that psychiatry doesn't need much reading was blasted. There was so much to read and I was in two minds to continue or not. It was a prestigious institute and good stipend and no fees. So I decided to continue with standing and reading and walking and reading. In a month, I got investigated and tried all the medicines available for narcolepsy. Nothing helped. Some of my patients responded well, including a third-year MBBS student who came all the way from Bhopal Medical College. I worked in Jipmar, Pondicherry for 2 years between 86 and 84 and 86, and in Kerala government service for 3 years between 86 and 89. And I joined Father Muller's Hospital in 1989 and worked there for 18 years. I joined Shema in 2007 as HOD of Psychiatry and retired in 2020 and now continuing as Senior Professor on Extension. I stopped my private practice in 2010 within a short period of starting my clinic due to involvement in social service organizations. My wife Dr. Geeta is a general practitioner. My elder son Arjun is a mechanical engineer and his wife Archana is a KMC Manipal, working in KMC Manipal as corporate communicator. My younger son Chinmay, all are here, is an MBA and does marketing. His wife Prerana alias Pooja is an occupational therapist working at Enapaya Medical College. I am happy being a psychiatrist. My wife even now says I should have become a surgeon because of my skills, not because I have failed her as a psychiatrist. Finally, once again, hearty thanks to the President and office bearers of IMA Mangalore for bestowing this honor on me. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.
Been ready, decked up. We have delayed it for more than 20 minutes. Sorry, madams, but I think it's a great day today. IMA's Doctors' Day celebration and the felicitation. We had the CME, and before that we had the wonderful performances by our members and their family that's been there. So I thank all who have been part of it. Today's meeting wouldn't have been possible without Dr. Bhaskar Shetty sir, who's taken his time out and come here. I thank you, sir, profusely for being part of us today.